Itong si BBM, kung tawagin ay Denial King.
For a while now, we've been very worried about my sister. And the reason that is because the lady that you see talking on TV is not my sister.
Kahit na kapatid niya na si Senator Amy Marcos ang nagsabi na siya ay addicted sa cocaine, gaslighting pa rin siya.
Hindi siya yan. Hindi siya yan. So, that's why we worry. So, we are very worried about him.
So anong gagawin natin sa situation ng Pilipinas ngayon?
Para maniwala talaga yung tao na hindi ka drug user, pwede ka namang magpa-drug test eh.
We cannot keep on going like this. A simple solution is for Bongbong Marcos to have a hair follicle test. What's so bad about having a hair follicle test? Why is it that 3 years after he was elected into office and this rumor started that he's a cocaine addict, up to now, he refuses to have a hair follicle test? His response is dead ba lang?
No. No. Why should I do that?
Mamatay kayo dyan, basta denial lang ako. Ano ngayon? Kung ayaw ko ng hair follicle test.
What they say, public trust, public office, public has nothing to do with a follicle test.
Hindi mo yan kaya, Bongbong, na in 3 years hindi ka mag-hair follicle test. Dahil the rallies are not going to stop.
Galit po kami sa mga magnanakaw. Lalong-lalo na po, tayo po ay nagbabayad din ng tax.
And they say, oh, what's wrong with that? Look at that. He's the one reporting now. Bongbong Marcos is trying to play catch up. Every day he reports. But he's not reporting on what we really want to know. Are you or are you not a cocaine addict? Will you or will you not have a hair follicle test? We are not a country led by cocaine addicts. Before, he said,
The Philippines shall continue to be a friend to all, an enemy to none.
but in the ASEAN, he castigated China for the Masinloc conflict.
I will not allow any attempt by any foreign power to take even 1 square inch of our sovereign territory.
And then he probably realized his error, and so he skipped several heads of state and threw all this way to the head of state of China just to shake his hand like a fool. What kind of president do we have? What kind of country are we going to have for our children and their future when we are led by a cocaine addict? Look at his decisions.
Why wouldn't you want all of that money back in the hands of the Filipino people?
Well, we...
May I just ask you why that's funny?
Where that?
Why that's funny? I'm asking you a question about plundering of large sums of money.
Tablahin mo na lang kami, BBM. Magpa-hair follicle test ka na lang para sabihin ng mga oposisyon, hindi naman pala siya addict. Lang pala siya. Rowena Guanzon po ang inyong lingkod. Itong si BBM ay, kung tawagin ay Denial King.
Bata pa lamang kami ni Bongbong. Alam na ng buong pamilya ang problema sa kanya.
We do not like to show our dirty linen in public. When I say we, I'm talking about friends and family. I'll just say this much. For a while now, we've been very worried about my sister. And the reason that is because the lady that you see talking on TV is not my sister.
Minsan, napapatanong ako sa sarili ko, ikaw pa ba yan? Si Bongbong ba talaga yung nakikita ko?
Kahit na kapatid niya na si Senator Amy Marcos ang nagsabi na siya ay addicted sa cocaine, ang asawa niya, ang first lady ay addicted sa cocaine, at ang kanilang mga anak, kasama na dyan si Congressman Sandro Marcos, ay gaslighting pa rin siya.
The lady that you see talking on TV is not my sister. Hindi siya yan. Hindi siya yan. So, that's why we worry. So, we are very worried about her.
So anong gagawin natin sa sitwasyon ng Pilipinas ngayon? Kung ang dami sa atin ay talagang kumbinsido na.
Kung hindi totoo yung sinasabi ng iyong ate, pasinungalingan mo para maniwala talaga yung tao na hindi ka drug user, pwede ka namang magpa-drug test eh.
Hindi namin gusto ang isang bangag at drug addict na presidente, utang na loob, bumaba ka bago ka kaladkarin ng taong bayan.
O nagdududa man lang that our president is a cocaine addict.
The president goes out every day. Does he look like he's, under the influence of anything? If you're trying to destabilize an organization, you try to be as shocking as possible. Why else would she bring up personal issues, at a rally that big?
What is the way to resolve it? We cannot keep on going like this, Bongbong. A simple solution is for Bongbong Marcos to have a hair follicle test. For his son to have a hair follicle test. For the First Lady who occupies or performs public functions to have a hair follicle test.
Kung gusto niyo magpa-DNA, di go ahead. Pero hindi po pakikinggan kung anumang hamon ang gusto ni itong si Senator Amy Marcos. Ano na naman ang susunod nilang iuutos sa Pangulo? Ang Pangulo ang uutusan talaga nila? For this?
Why is a hair follicle test reliable? Because it has a 6 months window. Or let's just say 3 months. What's so bad about that? If he is not a cocaine addict, what's so bad about having a hair follicle test? Why is it that 3 years after he was elected into office and this rumor started that he's a cocaine addict, up to now, he refuses to have a hair follicle test? His response is dead ba lang?
No. No. Why should I do that? That's, what they say, public trust, public office, public has nothing to do with a follicle test.
So come on. In other countries, if the president is even suspected of being a drug addict, he will have to report to Congress or their legislator or their political party. And then they will have their own investigation into his health and mental state.
All of us agree that the gravest domestic threat facing our nation today is drugs. Drugs have strained our faith in our system of justice. Our courts, our prisons, our legal system are stretched to the breaking point. The social costs of drugs are mounting. In short, drugs are sapping our strength as a nation.
But in the Philippines, Bongbong Marcos just keeps on denying it and will just say, mamatay kayo dyan, basta deny lang ako. Ano ngayon kung ayaw ko ng hair follicle test?
No. No. Why should I do that? What they say, public trust, public office, public has nothing to do with a follicle test.
Alam mo, hindi mo yan kaya, Bongbong, na in 3 years hindi ka mag-hair follicle test. Dahil the rallies are not going to stop.
Galit po kami sa mga magnanakaw. Lalong-lalo na po, tayo po ay nagbabayad din ng tax.
And they say, what's wrong with that? He's okay. He works every day. Look at that. He's the one reporting now. I think this Auntie Claire no longer has a job because he's the one now, he's his own spokesperson now.
Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Ito po ay isa pang report na aking ginagawa upang malaman ng taong bayan kung ano na ang nangyayari tungkol sa mga flood control na kaso na naging iskandalo.
Bongbong Marcos is trying to play catch up. Every day he reports. But he's not reporting on what we really want to know. Are you or are you not a cocaine addict? Will you or will you not have a hair follicle test now? Just to keep the country stable, to stop all these rumors that our president, we don't have a president who is running our country. Since our president is a cocaine addict, who's pulling the strings? Who's the puppeteer? That's why some congressmen or congressmen are already proposing that they should have also their hair follicle test. All the heads of public agencies should have hair follicle tests. Even the military should have a hair follicle test. But once and for all, we are not a country led by cocaine addicts. Why it's so hard about the hair follicle test? Because you're scared you're gonna be found out. Look, it's just 3 months. For urine test, you can stop for, let's say, a week, have a urine test, and then you'll have a clear urine test. Safe. But for hair follicle test, hindi pwedeng dayain. Kasi 3 months yung coverage ba. So, why is it that BBM can't just stop for 3 months and have a hair follicle test? Because he cannot. Because every day, he has to snort cocaine just to function. What kind of president do we have? What kind of country are we going to have for our children and their future when we are led by a cocaine addict? Look at his decisions.
Why wouldn't you want all of that money back in the hands of the Filipino people?
Well, we the narrative.
May I just ask you why that's funny?
Where that?
Why that's funny? I'm asking you a question about the plundering of large sums of money from the Filipino people.
I'm thinking that maintains, that idea maintains, because I take exception to many of the assertions that have been made, and I think since the cases were filed, the government fell. Cases were filed against me, my family, the estate, etc. And up to now, we have found the assertions that were made, we have shown to be untrue.
And you know, the president is the commander-in-chief. Can you imagine a drug addict, a cocaine addict, who is commander-in-chief? Those of you in the military, you think about it. He also steers our foreign policy. So again, in military, you think about it. Clear example. Before, he said, Philippines will be a friend to all and an enemy to none.
The Philippines shall continue to be a friend to all, an enemy to none. The Philippines has always been open and welcoming to all our foreign friends and visitors. That is our worldview. That is our culture.
But in the ASEAN, he lambasted China. While the premier was president, he castigated China for the Masinloc conflict, using the ASEAN meeting as a venue.
The Philippines now finds itself on the front line against actions that undermine regional peace, erode regional stability, and threaten regional success. Then as now, we remain firm in defending our sovereignty, our sovereign rights, our jurisdiction. I will not allow any attempt by any foreign power to take even 1 square inch of our sovereign territory.
So, how do you explain that? That his foreign policy statement was a friend to all, enemy of none. And then, in the ASEAN, where the Philippines is going to be the next chair, he lambasts China in the presence of their premier.
I would disagree. I did not make a strong statement. I just laid out the facts. I try always to just explain to everyone what is happening. This is the situation the Philippines finds itself in. Ito yung nangyayari sa amin. Kaya sana matulungan nyo kami.
And then he probably realized his error, and so he skipped several heads of state and crawled his way to the head of state of China just to shake his hand like a fool. Like a fool. And did you see Trump? Trump was touching everybody on his way to his spot. He was touching everybody's shoulder, hands. And then, before stopping at his spot, he looked over the shoulder of the head of state beside him and saw Bongbong and didn't acknowledge him at all. Just stood in his spot. That is very telling of what kind of treatment our president and our country is gonna get from the United States and China. We are a poor country. Our military Browner is delusional when he says that his military is ready to go, one of the best in the world.
I therefore direct the Philippine Air Force and the AFP to continue developing your capabilities for conducting maintenance and repair to keep all our military assets ready to go.
You out of your mind? If you think you're gonna get us into a war with China to protect Taiwan? Browner, you must be crazy. Nobody wants to go to war. In the Philippines, nobody wants to go hungry. That is what our president should solve. The economy is in deep shit. That is what Bongbong has to solve. And he can't do that. He can't do that because he's a drug addict. In 2023, his SONA, he said that he will bring down the price of rice and basic commodities.
Sa mga nakalipas na buwan, nakita natin ang pagbaba ng presyo ng bilihin sa iba't ibang mga sektor. Napatunayan natin na kayang maipababa ang presyo ng bigas, karne, isda, gulay at asukal. Malaking tulong ang Kadiwa Store na ating muling binuhay at inilunsad. Sa mga nagtatanong kung nasa na ang 20 pesos na bigas, ito ang aking tugon. Napatunayan na natin na kaya na natin ang 20 pesos sa bawat kilo ng bigas nang hindi malulugi ang ating mga magsasaka.
Today, my driver told me that the cheapest edible rice he could buy is 42 pesos. There was a time when the average price of rice was 55 pesos. And yet he promised during his campaign that he will make rice available for 20 pesos.
Palapit na tayo dun sa aking pangarap na mag 20 pesos. Pero dahan-dahan lang. Aabutin din natin yan. Pero marami pa tayong gagawin. Pero ang dami pang nangyayari.
But how can he do that when there are technical smugglers in the NFA, the National Food Authority, that, when the government imports rice, they have a cartel there. They decide among themselves who will get what and how much. And Zaldico recently disclosed that the reason why they have been doing this undisturbed is because the First Lady's brother, Martin, is the patron of the technical smugglers in the Bureau of Customs.
Kung matatandaan ninyo, noong 2022, nagkaroon po ng investigasyon sa Kamara na pinangungunahan ni Congressman Toto Swansing dahil sobrang taas ng presyo ng sibuyas. Umabot ng 600 pesos kada kilo. Gayong dapat ay nasa 80 pesos lang. Doon lumabas ang pangalan ni Martin Araneta bilang isa sa mga nasa likod ng kontrol sa importasyon ng sibuyas. Pero hindi po natuloy ang investigasyon. Ang sabi ni Speaker, tinawagan daw siya ni First Lady Lisa Marcos at ipinapatigil ang investigasyon. Kaya walang natuloy at walang naparusahan. Dahil pala, kontrolado ng kapatid ng First Lady ang importasyon ng sibuyas.
You have to rewind 3 to 6 months in office. Sibuyas, naging 800 pesos a kilo. Umabot pa ng sobra 1,000.
Sa Balintawak galing ako ron, 560 ang kilo.
Sibuyas? Paano nangyari yun kung walang manipulation ng presyo? Pagkatapos, asukal naman.
Nagkwento sa akin si dating Speaker Martin Romualdez, kinausap daw siya ni PBBM sa Tacloban para tumulong sa gastusin ng mga kandidato mula national hanggang local candidates. Ang sagot ni Speaker, naibigay na niya ang SOP collections sa Bureau of Customs na umabot sa 11 billion pesos. Dagdag pa dyan, may 9 billion pesos collection mula sa sugar na ayon mismo sa kanya ay pinaghahatian lang ng 5 kumpanya para makontrol nila ang presyo ng asukal sa merkado.
Oh, kami na naman sa negos ang kawawa niyan. Saldico again disclosed that they gave billions of pesos to 5 companies to manipulate the price of sugar. Oh, alam mo, history repeats itself. Nung panahon ng martial law ni Ferdinand Marcos, he also manipulated the price of sugar by creating the Philippine Sugar Marketing and NASUTRA, National Sugar Trading. And so the sugar planters could no longer make a profit and stop farming sugar. What happened? Malnutrition. Children got hungry to the extent that UNICEF had to intervene. Their children could no longer go to school and they could not afford medical expenses when the sugar farmers were already absent or have folded their businesses. This is part 2 of Marcos' raid of the sugar industry. What I don't understand is that there are still people who say, no, bait-bait yan si Bongbong eh. Bait yan si Bongbong, di niya yan magagawa. Talagang pinapalibutan lang siya ng mga ng mga tao niya na sila lang ang magnanakaw dyan. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. As Dr. Winnie Monsod said in an interview,
I mean, I would like to ask Senator Lacson that. Do you really think, Senator Lacson, that si President Bongbong is so stupid? Do you believe that what his sister said, that he is a drug addict, so he does not know what's going on?
If he did not know, then he is not fit to hold office. If people his cronies can just do this, manipulate our economy, cause our economic downfall because of their greed, flood control, ghost projects, and substandard infrastructure projects, if that's all the work of his people around him and not Bongbong himself, then they must think they're pretty stupid, no? Hindi naman kami ganyan katanga, BBM. Kung ganyan din naman ang aminin mo na hindi mo alam, 3 taon ka na dyan, hindi mo pa rin alam. Tapos ngayon, you're playing catch-up because rallies are ongoing. On November 30, the Catholic Church will lead also a rally. After the Iglesia ni Cristo, on November 16 and 17, had a very big rally in Luneta, where Senator Amy Marcos disclosed that her dear brother, the President, is addicted to cocaine, and so is his wife and their children. So these rallies will continue. The left is rallying and demanding for BBM to resign and Sara to resign. And they want a transition council. And I asked one of them, I said, what's the transition council for? Said, oh, that's going to be the council that will create the rules. And who's going to do what in a snap election? I said, how can you have a snap election and you think that it will be fair when the same COMELEC chairman, Garcia, appointed by the president, will still be there? If both of them will resign, that's really going to be an extraordinary scenario. Remember? Because in the previous resignations of ERAP, there was a vice president that took over, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. And there's the military suggestion from people who think that a military junta will also solve the problem. And Justice Carvey already came out. We should follow the Constitution, and I agree with him. Do not tamper with the Constitution. Do not think that the military junta is our savior. We, the people, are sovereign. Look at Myanmar. When the military junta took over, they took over all the businesses and minerals and mining, and they even took over the sale of mobile phones. Internet. It's gonna get worse if it's a military junta because they will rule by the gun. They will rule by the gun. So what's the solution? BBM, do you really think that in 3 years you can they'll get tired of protesting, they'll get tired of like this, we'll just keep on denying it? We're not gonna get tired. I don't think the people will get tired. I think there will be pocket rallies even without big rallies. And I think the social media is on fire against BBM. We don't want, I wouldn't want, to see our economy crash before BBM resigns. Kawawa naman tayo. Kawawa naman yung mahihirap. Kung hihintayin pa ni BBM yun, tablahin mo na lang kami, BBM. Magpa-hair follicle test ka na lang. Lahat kayo dyan sa Malacanang. O pati ako, mag-hair follicle test din ako. Tablahan mo na lang kami. Hair follicle test ka na para sabihin ng mga oposisyon, hindi naman pala siya adik, bobo lang pala siya. This is Rowena Guanzon, and we are proudly PGMN.